guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sandra Okandu here again. I'm so happy to be here once again, and I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and also giving me that number of views. I mean, it's just an introductory video and I got that number of views. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you guys, thank you. And for those that haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Okay, let me give you some time to subscribe. Have you subscribed? I know you have. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. So from the title below, I'll be talking about the 5 major lessons that I have learned this past decade. So I learned a lot of things, but I've just picked a few that were major in my life and I just want to share with you guys. Over the past 10 years, I transitioned from my teenage years to my adulthood. So I learned a whole lot of things and I want to share them with you. So the first thing I'll be talking about today is how to manage I learned how to manage my finances. Prior to this 10 years, I was this kid that when you talk about managing savings and the rest of it, it's really don't sink in. I was just this kind of person that when you just give me money, the next thing I'm spending it. I don't even think about tomorrow. I don't think about savings. I don't think about how to invest it. I don't just think about any of those. But when I came here, I realized that I was on my own and I just have to start learning on my own on how to be financially independent. So things really got tough. So what my mom was doing then was, I suggested that instead of sending me my upkeep, she should use it to buy some things so that when it gets here, I sell them and get extra cash. So I learned that at a very tender age, and it's really helped me a lot because I had some things saved up for myself. Even when I graduated from college, I wasn't really financially stable. It took me a while before I got a job. So I basically relied on the little savings I had. So imagine if I hadn't saved, that money at that time I was in school, what would have happened? And I think it has even affected me up to this point that sometimes I hear some people saying that, I think Sandra is stingy to herself, she doesn't spend. No. That's a wrong impression. The thing there is, I don't spend my money anyhow. I actually know how to distinguish between what I need and what I want. So if something is not really necessary in my life at that moment, trust me, I'm not going to spend my money on it. But when it comes to also spoiling myself, yes, I budget to spoil myself. So I'm not stingy to myself. I know how to spend on myself. Then the second lesson that I've learned too is how to build my self-esteem. Years back, I was just this girl that didn't just appreciate anything about myself. So I hated the way I looked, I hated the way I dressed, I hated everything. So I tried to be someone else. I tried to dress like someone else. I tried to behave like someone else so that I'll be accepted. Because among my peers, I felt like I didn't really, belong, probably because they are more intelligent. I was thinking then that they are more intelligent than I am. They are more pretty, they were much more than I had to offer. So in turn, I was missing out in the real person that I'm supposed to be. I was suppressing my real self, then I was just being someone else. This actually affected me a whole lot because I made friends that I wasn't supposed to make. And most of the time when I was with my friends, it was like I'm trying so hard. I'm trying my best to fit into their level. I'm trying my best to, match up to their standard. Like I take whatever they give to me. I don't say no to their requests. I make sure I please them. And at the end of the day, I was I was just doing an injustice. It was just an injustice to myself, because my real self was somewhere and I was subduing it just to please my friends. This went on and on until I realized that I have to be my own unique person. I took a time and I sat down and I thought through it, and I realized that I can't be someone else except myself. During that period, I lost a lot of friends because they weren't seeing the Sandra that will always, run to their beck and call. They weren't seeing the Sandra was that was always, that was always trying to belong, that was always trying to fit in, that was always trying to be like them. Even got to a point that I had to wait for someone else to make my own life decisions. This really, 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 really affected me. But now that I have learned who I really am, I've seen myself transformed into this beautiful, unique, sweet lady that you are looking at. So right now I make my own self decisions. I don't let peer pressure get into my head. When I want to say no, I say no, and when I want to say yes, I say yes. So whatever you bring to me, I have to look at it. If it's something that is going to benefit me, and if it's something that is going to add value to my life, I accept. But when I weigh the option, I see that is something that I'm not going to be comfortable with. It's something that in a long run is going to affect me. I don't take it. So I think that was really a major shift, and I'm so grateful that I learned it earlier on, because if I had kept living for someone else, I wonder what would have become of me. So another thing that I've learned thus far is never to trust anyone. I feel like we don't really know what people are thinking. We don't know the intentions other people are having. You don't know what the next person is having in mind for you. So it's really not good to trust people like that. During this past 10 years, I wouldn't really pick out the year. I was really affected because I trusted some friends, and it ended up affecting me, because when they betrayed my trust, I felt so bad. Like, it was so depressing, and I regretted why I had to trust the people in the first place. So I feel it's really not good to trust someone. Imagine if sometimes you can't even trust yourself. There are some times that you tell yourself that you will not be able to, you will not do certain things, but when situations present itself, then you just find yourself doing it. So imagine if you can't really trust yourself in some things, how then do you want to trust someone else? So please do not trust anybody but yourself. Don't yourself too. Don't trust yourself that much, but do not trust anyone. Just trust God, please. Then another lesson that I've struggled to learn is to face my fears. I had two major fears while growing up. The first one is the fear of failure. That means the fear of not getting it right, and the fear of being alone. So the fear of failure came as a result of a traumatic event that happened previously in my life. There was a time I was given a presentation to do for the very first time, to stand in front of crowd, but I did prepare for the presentation. But when I stood in front of the crowd, I just started shivering. I don't know why. Anxiety, fear, like of not getting it right, or fear of not presenting well, just grabbed me, and I ended up messing the whole presentation up. So since that embarrassing moment, I decided not to try, public speaking again. So I had my turning point when I actually spoke to someone, a good friend of mine, about this fear, because I tried it several times and I couldn't find my way out. So this, my friend was like, Sandra, do it this way, do it that way. But the thing there is, unless you've decided to do it, trust me, you can never overcome it completely. You can never overcome the fear completely. So you have to work on yourself first. then before you try to take the next step. So that was what I actually did. I asked myself some questions like, why can't I talk in front of people? What will happen? Are they going to kill me? Fine, if it's not good enough, they should tell me, and that's it. So, and also I learned how to affirm. Affirmation goes a long way to helping build your confidence back. So when I got in front of the stage, I just noticed this anxiety again. I just told myself, Sandra, you just have to do this thing. You're going to do it right. Just trust yourself. Trust that you can make it. And after that day, I just became someone that can talk to anyone. I can talk in any congregation. I really don't care about what you feel. If I don't get it right, I appreciate feedback and I go back to work on myself. But when it comes to fear of standing in front of crowd to talk, no, that's not me again. The next fear was fear of being alone. That one also came as a result of something that happened to me. During my childhood, I had one of the most important person in my life leave. Because of that, when I like you and when I love you, I wouldn't want you to leave my circle. I wouldn't want you to leave me alone. So because I don't want to leave them, because I don't want to be alone, I was condoning things that I'm not supposed to condone. I was taking things that I wasn't supposed to take. That is something I don't like, but instead of being in a situation where the friendship or the relationship I have with the person will end up paying toxic to my life and also end up messing up my mental health, it's better I just be by myself. And I also noticed another thing, that when you are yourself, you feel this kind of empowerment. That's when you decide you can do a lot of self-reflection. So this was just how I overcame this fear of not being alone. So the final lesson that I've learned is how to forgive often. I used to be this kind of person that really didn't know how to forgive people, especially when people that I trust so much hurts me. I find it very, very difficult to forgive because I'm very, very emotional. I'm emotional, so when I put you in that space or in that place and you in turn hurt me, I just don't want to see you around me. But all that has changed because I realized that if you are living your free life, even if you hurt me, I'm here dying inside. is not improving my mental health, neither is it improving my spiritual life. So what I do now is, when it hurts me, I give myself some time to think through it, and I think through the whole situation. I ask myself some questions like, why did this person act this way towards me? If I was in his or her shoes, would I do the same? Or if I don't find any reason, if I don't find any answer to those questions, I take this next step to probably walk up to you for us to talk things out. But if we can't come to a certain understanding, trust me, I will forgive you, but I wouldn't trust you that much again. I wouldn't hold you that close because I don't want the same thing to repeat itself. So I don't hold grudge against anyone this time around. When you do something to me, I try as much as possible to forgive. I try as much as, because as soon as I forgive, I just feel this weight being lifted from me. So instead of holding it tightly, and when I see you, I'll not be able to talk to you. I don't even want to look at you. I don't like, everything that you did to me just comes back again. And that is not, trust me, is not good for your health as a whole. Even the Bible says you have to make peace with your friend. Whether it's someone that hurts you or you that hurts the person, you have to make peace with the person before coming to seek his face. So this is something that I've learned, this past 10 years. For those of you who are struggling to change a habit or learn something new. I believe you should just have an open mind. I didn't learn all these things at once for, like I said, the past 10 years. So it's not something that I just learned immediately. So that brings us to the end of this YouTube video. I hope you learn a lot from it. I hope it's an inspiring video. If you like it, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you have any significant change that you want to share or any significant thing that you've learned this past 10 years, you can also drop it in the comments below. So thank you guys for watching this video again. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you all.